And right now at 4:30, a man caught on camera knocking a tray out of a waiter's hand, sending food all over the floor. He's then seen getting into some kind of confrontation inside that restaurant.
And Local 10's Roy Ramos is joining us. He's live now in Miami with reaction coming in from the owner. Roy?
Christy and Louie, when I spoke with that business owner, he tells me he was very upset when he heard about what happened, but that anger quickly shifted to concern. Concern for his employees, concern for his customers, and concern for the person responsible.
My first response was anger.
Outrage sparked in a Miami business owner after his cameras capture a man deliberately slapping a tray with more than a half dozen plates full of food out of the hand of one of his servers. Watch as this man is exiting through a glass door, and just as that server walks by, he hits the edge of the tray, causing the food to crash to the floor. As that server is left with a look of confusion, that man just casually walks away.
Knocked over the tray full of food, which, was unfortunate. It was Mother's Day. We had to make that food again. We had to clean the floors.
Luis Garcia, owner of Garcia Seafood Grill and Fish Market on the Miami River, told me while the video is shocking to watch, it's his general manager, he said, was first confronted by the man who walked right past a line of families with Mother's Day reservations.
He literally walks up to one of our staff and kind of puts his chest in his, which was uncalled for.
Video from the restaurant patio shows what Garcia said is that man demanding to be seated. And as his general manager begins calling the police, he's followed as he tries to avoid a confrontation after repeatedly asking the man to leave.
When he was approached, he got aggressive.
While days have passed since the disturbance for Garcia's diners, it's his worry this person may have been mentally struggling with something more.
You don't know what this gentleman was going through.
That said, it's the irrational and unpredictable actions that are concerning for the public. For that reason, police want to find him.
This type of behavior warrants that we find this person.
And get this, since the incident, several people have actually reached out to the restaurant to offer to tip that waiter and compensate him for what has happened. He says that's really been humbling for him. As for the man responsible, well, if you recognize the man in that video, you are urged to contact Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. That number, 305-471-TIPS. For now in Miami, Roy Ramos, Local 10 News.
And right now at 4:30.
No. I don't want to hear nothing about no goddamn mental health. What he need is his ass whooped. That's what he need. What he need is to run into the right one on the wrong day. That's what he need. Hey, you know what I hate? You know what I hate to see more than anything else, probably? I hate to go out somewhere and then see people giving the workers a hard time. Especially servers, right? Because unfortunately, here in America, we consider servers and waiters, we consider that one of the lower end jobs. And there's not a ton of respect that comes along with those jobs. In fact, if you would ask people, I think that if you would take a survey, if you could survey the entire country and you ask them what's one of the lowest jobs that you have respect for, waiters and servers would be their answer, so long as they're not recorded saying that, right? Because I think people walk into these restaurants, and I've seen it time and time again. I've seen people give waiters a bad time and a horrible time and just a hard time and a hard experience. I've seen people give managers that, when they're unhappy with their food. It's one thing to walk into a restaurant, sit down, and you're unhappy with the experience and you're unhappy with the food and you want them to file a complaint or you want to talk to a manager. Okay, cool. That's one thing, right? Within reason, anybody can understand that you've had a terrible experience and you just expect it to be treated a little bit better. But in this instance where you have a dude come in, the first thing he does is get into it with the manager that is on duty. And then he demands to be seated. Once he isn't seated, because again, they said that he walked past several people who had reservations to sit down and they were waiting to be seated on this Mother's Day. He walks past all of them and says, nah, I'm about to go ahead and sit down. He gets his fat ass past all of them, gets over there, and then starts demanding that he be served. It's people like this that I think should be ostracized. Not only do I think that they should be made an example of publicly, if he has a job, I think he should lose it. If he has a job, I think that he should be made an example of. I hope they do find this piece of shit so that so that some real justice can be served. And it's unfortunate, the funny thing is, I would think just from the look of him that he would just have a lot more respect for food. Just from the look of him, from the look of his big ass, I would think that he would just have a lot more respect for food in general. Because nigga, you ain't missed no meals. You could have waited the half hour or 45 minutes or whatever it was that they told you that you needed to wait to be seated. It looked like you would have done all right. It looks like you wasn't gonna starve while you was waiting. You in there with your fat ass stomach bumping into everybody, and then on your way out the door because you couldn't get your way, you knocked the waiter's food out of his hands again, because waiters are treated like trash, and I've seen it time and time again. It's one of the worst things that you can experience. I've seen a chick come in, order food. She sat down, no lie, I swear to God. She ordered food. This lady came in by herself. She was by herself, sat alone, ordered up a bunch of food, ate about 3/4 of it, and then called over the manager. Purposefully got into it with the manager so that she didn't have to pay the bill, and then walked out on the manager in mid-sentence. Just walked out, left the food there. I mean, she had already eaten about 75% of it, but she proceeded to just storm out of the place, didn't pay a dime. I'm not going to tell you what color she was because it don't matter. She was black. Her ass was black. Her ass was black. But I just think that karma hopefully finds a way to repay these people. And it's unfortunate that servers aren't given more respect and they're treated the way they are. Especially when you would think that you would give them a little bit more respect when they're the ones that's preparing and or delivering your food. A lot of times these servers are running around with their heads like chickens with their heads cut off because they're trying to do multiple things on a shift. They're trying to serve multiple people, and it can be a little hectic. A server is a job that I would not want to do. Down in the comments below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. And please be kinder. Just be kinder to your servers, and try to be more understanding. A lot of times, your food taking all day is not their fault. A lot of times, your food being wrong or being cooked wrong or not to your liking is not the server's fault. They're just bringing the food to you. So please have a little bit more patience out there. Be a little bit more kinder, and tip your good servers. When you got a good server, throw a good tip in there. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. You'll get that money back eventually through karma. Anyway, drop a comment down below. I'll see y'all in the next one.